Right guys, so welcome back. This is the video on setting up a menu system. So in the last video we did a little bit of cleaning up. We put in the boundary bottom and top, and we put in the destroy function for the hazards. So what I'm going to do here, this is going to be quite a simple menu, but it'll give you the general gist of setting up a more elaborate menu if you want to. So I'm just going to save everything I've got here. So scene save project, because we need to set up a new scene. So new scene, obviously in a new scene all we have is the main camera, and we only need two other things. So I'm going to right click, go to UI, and I'm going to add a button. This is going to be my play button. So as we can see on, if I zoom out, so there's the canvas, here's my button. As we did before with the text, it works in a very similar way with the anchors. So I'm just going to figure out where this is going to go. So I'm going to go with a 0.4, a 0.6, make it in the middle, and then probably the same again, just to make it very central in the middle of the screen. There we go. Just so I know what it does, I'm just going to change the text to say play. So yeah. Imagine this being some elaborate, funky menu. What this is actually going to do is we are just going to click play, and then it will take us to the scene that we've created before. So I'm going to right click, create an empty object. This is going to be our scene manager. I'm going to create a new C# script, and I'm just going to call this scene controller, because scene manager is already a thing, so I can't call it scene manager. So give it a second. There we go. So in here, I'm not going to really use any of these functions. I'm going to delete the start function, I'm going to delete the update function. I'm going to make sure to leave the bracket obviously there. Don't need the hint text. I'm going to set up one function, and then I'm going to set up another in a little bit, and I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm just going to set up a public void, because we're going to reference this elsewhere. So I'm going to say this is going to be called play game. Yep, so that's going to be in there. We need to tell Unity that we're going to be using the scene management system. So using Unity engine, oh, not like that, dot scene management. And in here, I am literally going to write these words. I'm going to write scene manager dot load scene, and then in here it's going to ask for a build int. It's called. So I'm going to show you where these are. So we go to File, Build Settings, which is loaded up on the other screen. We have the scenes. So the other scene that I've got, the one that's at the actual game, is called sample scene, just the default of what it was called. And this number here is the build int. So obviously we are going to load up the build int of 0. I'm going to add the open scene, but it's going to ask me to save it. So if I go with menu, as you can see, we've got another one in there. So we've got another build int of 1. But for the sake of this, we are literally just going to say, right, you're going to load up that scene. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't need to worry about anything else. What we will do after I've shown you this working is we'll put a quit button in there, but the annoying thing about the quit button is you don't see whether it works in editor or not, because it doesn't quit. Obviously if it quit the program, that'd be a nightmare. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to come into here, I'm going to close that down, I don't really need it. I'm going to go on the empty game object we put in before. Just for the sake of being tidy, I'm going to put it in the center. Doesn't need to be, but I'm going to put it there anyway. I'm going to put the scene controller in here, and then go to the button. Because what the button does is the button, obviously, we have an on-click event. So what happens when the button gets clicked is what it's looking for. So I'm going to click this plus here, and what it's looking for is looking for a game object and a script with a function. So I'm going to drag the scene manager into there, and the function, I'm going to go to scene controller, and I'm going to go to play game, because that's the function we've just set up. So we should see now, when I hit play, I should hit this button and we should go straight into the game, just like that. So there we go. That's set up, just like that. I'm going to set up a secondary button. So I'll probably just duplicate this one. I'm going to put this in the top right hand corner. So 0.8, 1, 1 and 0.8, why not? 0 out them, so it's in the top corner. Quit. So obviously this currently has that in there, so I'm going to go back into the scene controller, and I'm going to add in a public void for quit. Oh, quit apparently. So in here, I'm going to go, not like that. I'm going to go scene manager dot. It's not even that. It's not even scene manager now I think about it. If we just double check the build integers, if I just click on there a second, check the build ints. Yeah, so obviously we're in 1 at the minute and we've been to 0. So what we need to do is, instead of actually going to scene manager, because the scene manager, if you think about it this way, the scene manager switches between 0 and 1. So that'd be the scenes. Quit isn't a scene, it's not quitting to a different scene. So we're going to have to go with, instead, an application dot quit. So that we're saying to it, right, don't switch from a scene to one of these build-ins. Just quit the whole game altogether. So save all. Go back into here, close that down. Go to this new button, which is the quit button, which might be a good idea to actually label the buttons. So I'm just gonna quickly do that. Oh, caps lock on, that's annoying. Play button. Quit button. And in here, we're still referencing the scene manager, we're still referencing the scene controller, but we're gonna do quit instead. So when I click play, I can quit. Obviously, as I said, it won't do anything in here. This will be if you made an executable or if you created an APK to put on an Android device. That's where you would click quit and it would quit the game. In terms of building executables and building APKs, that's something I will probably cover in some of the later videos that I'm going to make, because as I say, technically speaking, what we've got here is we've got a game. So yeah, in next videos I'll be assessing them and looking at what other things, what other variations we can play around with. Obviously showing you how to build an executable to run on PC, but also want to run on the Android devices and stuff, which is a little bit more difficult because of APKs and stuff, but don't worry about that for the time being. But yeah, there we go. There's menus and there's quit button. Yeah, I'll catch you next.